All right, we have a little prize to give here to 4 very talented students. Treat you very well, and then put you to the test yet again. So I'd like to present the Wondercup and a brand new MacBook computer to the 2008 Wondercup Challenge Championship team from Albany High School. The team name is the Up Quarks. You are indeed up. Please come over and take your seats as I read your names, all right? We have Asia Kwan, Janie Gu, Quentin Moy, and George Shan. We won't be giving these to you right now. You have a job to do, but I want you to see they exist, as does the beautiful Wondercup. It is yours. The Wondercup trophy reads, Wonderfest, the Bay Area Festival of Science, presents the 2008 Wondercup to the top high school science team in the San Francisco Bay Area as a consequence of their victory in the Bechtel Wondercup Challenge. Congratulations. All right, but now, let the mind duel begin.
Okay. This is, anything could happen here, as I said, through the years, half the time the students have won, half the time the pros have won, the mind duel. And I happen to have seen Scanners for the 10th time this week, one of the classic horror films they play every Halloween. All right, what is the mind duel about? I was just thinking, I can't wait to get home. My cat has some explaining to do. Okay. And all this time, I thought pediatric autoimmune meant that too young to drive. But I'm not a scientist. Okay. Where am I here? Oh, yes. One other thing about parking tomorrow. If you're planning to go to Cal, we had this wonderful free parking lot across the street from the venue for years. It's not there anymore. They're doing something else with it. There's some construction going on. So there isn't any parking right out the front door as there has been in the past. However, and also the Greek Theater is having a concert at the same time, so we recommend that you come early, but there is a great place called the Bancroft Parking Garage, and it's located between Bowditch and College Avenue, and it's right across from the Berkeley Art Museum, so that would be the place to park, and it's, maybe a block and a half from where the venue is at Cal tomorrow. So that's the parking note, and don't forget about Picturoo, P-I-C-T-U. It's picture, instead of the E, you have R-O-O on the end. And that's our great friend Eric Yao, who's doing these photographs for you people out in the lobby. All right, enough of that. Now it's time for the mind duel. Students versus scientists. I love that. We have some great questions put together with some visual aids. This time around, half of them have visual aids with them. And I will explain the rules after I introduce our contestants. My own personal heckler, Stephen Block, will be first. He's a professor of applied physics and biology here at Stanford. Sit down, sit down.
I'm Steve the scientist, and I'm here stumping for Obama.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Steve, and I'm a science-aholic. Okay, and Dan Cammett, who's professor of energy resources at UC Berkeley. Where's Dan? I like that. He comes down just like The Price is Right. He bounces down. Okay. These guys, the students are in trouble. These guys have been working out here. Okay, and Jennifer Saltzman? Yes. Jennifer? Oh, why are you sitting up there? Okay. Jennifer is a lecturer in the Department of Geological and Environmental Sciences and outreach coordinator for the School of Earth Sciences. Thank you very much. I'll move the podium for you here. And notice we have salted them with well-rounded backgrounds. Everyone knows a little bit about something. And of course, our own superhero here at Wonderfest, Richard Zare.
The old folks have to rearrange the deck chairs.
No, they're plotting. They're up to something. All right, here are the rules. The rules are If you answer a question correctly, you get 2 points. If you answer a question incorrectly, you lose 1 point. It's a -1. +2 for a correct answer, -1 for a wrong answer. Now, how can you? And you can answer incorrectly if you first hit the buzzer. The people who first get to answer a question are the ones who first hit the buzzer. But sometimes you do that and you really aren't sure of the answer. You are allowed to confer for just a moment, and we're speaking a moment as a precise length of time in scientific terms.
We get a longer moment than the kids, right? We get a senior moment.
You get. I don't have to say anything here. My job is done. All right. And the fourth law is no coaching from the audience. We don't want you mouthing the answers or whispering the answers. And we're not going to disqualify them. We'll have someone escort you outdoors. So those are the rules. The first person to hit the buzzer gets to answer the question with his or her team. You get to confer for a few moments. If you do answer incorrectly, the other team gets a chance to pick up and take the question. And if you... Well, I guess the final judge is Tucker here. Tucker will rule.
You get to end the game when you're tired of doing it, and whichever team is ahead then.
Okay, all right. I like that. So here we go. All right, we have naturally a lot.
It's important.
He just handed me a Lehman Brothers stock certificate. What's that?
That's not driving at all.
Okay. All right, you notice a lot of the visual aids have to do with, or come from, our dear friend Gary Larson.
And they're never essential to the answer to the question. In fact, often they're counterproductive.
Okay, our first question has to do with the Little Bang Theory. Well, I'll read the caption first for those of you who are here to cheer on these guys and can't make it out. There goes Williams again, trying to win support for his Little Bang Theory. I wonder why he likes the Little Bang Theory. Okay, this is the first question in the Wonderfest Mind Duel 2008. The Large Hadron Collider made news recently, and may make tremendous news in the years to come, for simulating events that happen just...
Higgs boson.
No. You should have waited for the whole question. All right, so that's a -1 for the scientist.
Someone else does? Oh, no, sorry. You're out of it.
Okay.
The whole side is that, right?
Albany. I'll finish the question. Okay. The Large Hadron Collider made news recently and might make tremendous news in years to come for simulating events that happened just after the Big Bang. But what is a hadron? Not yet. I think we're approaching the end of a moment.
Uh-oh.
All right. No, I'm disappointed in both of you. So it is a shame. But here's an interesting question, which has only occurred once before. They think they know it now. So do we throw it back to them, or is it just the rules say one try each? I think one try each. However, rather than give the... Now, this is not good for any points, but what is a hadron?
Massive particle.
Any
particle possessing mass.
Well, more technically, any particle made of quarks and held together by gluons.
You have an expert.
That would be
Okay? Do we have a particle physicist in the audience?
I assume there's many. Over there.
All right, we'll leave that one at...
We have -1, -1. So
Yep.
too bad.
Yes. Okay, all right. Neck and neck. Now, there are only...
Race to the bottom.
There are only 112 questions, so... All right, this is question number 2 in the Mind Duel. By which of their 5 senses are infants, even just 45 hours after birth, able to identify their own mother? Okay, scientists. Do you want to confer? Smell is correct for 2 points for the scientist. All right. Number 3. Suddenly, Bobby felt very alone in the world. Sorry. Apparently, everyone is extinct. What?
It's hard to get a mini.
Is this? Oh, wait a minute. That's out of order with the new order of the list. No, but we can jump to that question. Let's jump to that question. Okay. The one that's related to this is?
Number 5.
Oh, yes, number 5. What name is given to prehistoric life's greatest catastrophe? Albany.
Cambrian mass extinction?
Cambrian mass extinction? No. For -1, and now the scientists get to confirm.
Can you repeat the question? Will you repeat the question?
Yes, I will repeat the question. I will repeat the question. What name is given to prehistory's greatest catastrophe?
Life's greatest.
Prehistoric life's greatest catastrophe. Gentlemen? Oh, lady?
Development of religion? No.
Permian? Permian, that's correct. It's P-E-R, Permian, and the Permian extinction. And I think one of our presenters earlier today actually had a slide of it. Or it was Don, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's not such a big deal now, but... +2. Okay, so what's the score now? The score is 3 for the scientists, -2 for the students. But they could make that up in this next question. All right, the next question is, what is there? There's no, we have no visual aid for this.
No, we should, but I'm sorry.
Which?
That's like my class.
Yes, indeed. Our next question is about just this. No doubt about it, Ellington. We've mathematically expressed the purpose of the universe. Gad, how I love the thrill of scientific discovery. Yeah, big fat 0. Howsoever, as they say in the science world, what equation, first discovered by Leonard Euler, or as some people say Euler, is considered the most elegant of all? Okay, for the scientists.
E to the I pi equals -1, or e to the I pi plus 1 equals 0, depending on how you like it.
Son of a gun, that's it. Yes, it's called Euler's identity, or Euler's identity. And it's... All right, I'm sorry I have to do this.
E to the I pi equals -1.
Oh, no, it's better. Plus 1 equals 0. Much better. There.
Okay. Now...
You said it wrong first. You said e to the I pi equal to -1. That's not...
Well, the reason...
That's the same equation. It's an identity.
It's in a different form.
Right, we had... No, I should... Let me interrupt. The reason I smiled, when you said that, I smiled at Tucker, because we had this discussion beforehand, how to present the equation, because there's a simpler way to do it, but the elegance of this equation, and the reason it's written this way, and one of the ways that you mentioned is, it includes 0, 1. There's no multiplication or division. It includes I and pi. And it also, and this is probably the most elegant number in all of mathematics. There was and the reason it was named by an international competition that I think went on for a year. People submitted nominations for most elegant expression of science using numbers or a formula. And this thing won hands down. Everyone seems to think it's elegant for some reason. However, some people write it in different. The reason we like to write it this way is because it includes the 1 and the 0.
The reason why Eric Temple Bell wrote an essay on it and put it with -1 is because it introduces the concept of negative numbers.
Yes, but I is already there.
I is not a negative number.
Okay.
I squared, however, is a negative number.
Okay. I'd like to see you deliver the news sometime. Okay. Number 6. Actually, this is number 5, I guess, counting in our new list here. All right. Which classic, this has nothing to do with the drawing, by the way. Which classic science fiction authors whose last names begin with the letters A, B, and C? Dick, again. No, sorry. Once more. Trigger fingers. Trigger fingers. The entire question, I'll finish the question here before the students get a crack at it. Which classic science fiction authors whose last names begin with the letters A, B, and C are known as the Big Three? I wish we had some...
A, B, and C respectively.
A, B, and C. So I'll read it word for word. Which classic sci-fi authors whose last names begin with letters A, B, and C respectively are known as the Big Three? Time's up. Students, take a guess. One of them? Any of them? Bueller?
Science fact?
No.
They got science fiction?
Science fiction? No. You guys should read more. All right, but this is not for any points.
We got it.
Okay, you probably got
A
it.
is for Asimov. B is for Bradbury. C is for Hart.
Correct. Okay, Isaac. No number goes up.
That was just for fun.
Isaac, Ray, and Arthur. All right. All right, number 6. This one also, yes, this will be number 6. This one also has a visual aid. I hadn't thought of that, but it works too.
Transparency?
You guys can still make a comeback here. Yes, transparency. We're ready. Okay. Seymour Frischberg, accountant of the wild frontier. Speaking of which, to within 10%, what percentage of U.S. lands are set aside in parks and reserves? I didn't expect a quick buzzer on that one. To within 10%, what percentage of U.S. lands are set aside in parks and reserves? Still haven't heard a buzzer. All right. Buzzer from the scientists.
Yep. We're going to say 5, but we think it's less.
Well, give me a number.
5. This
Okay.
is within 10%.
That is within 10% because the actual number is 10%. 10% of parks and reserves, of the U.S. lands are parks and reserves. All right, number 7. What? Oh, there are no visual aids for this one. All right, number 7. What brain cells allow primates to simulate external events in our heads, thereby giving us the power of empathy? What brain cells allow primates to simulate external events in our heads, thereby giving us the power of empathy? Actually, this made science news. No buzzer yet? No buzzer yet? If there, yeah, you know what? When there is no buzzer, we should probably go to the audience here. Not yet, not yet. Shh, shh, shh. You'll get your chance. All right, so nobody has chosen to answer the question because nobody wants to risk the -1. I don't know, you guys are so far ahead. Go for the -1.
Come on.
Well, but it's still a -1 if you don't.
Did you guys pass? No.
I buzzed.
You buzz.
I didn't.
Okay.
What did you guys?
Do you?
Purkinje cells.
The what?
Purkinje cells.
Is that another name? No, no.
We didn't
Well,
listen carefully.
well, let's let the audience give it.
He doesn't know.
Or do you guys want to try it?
He's the neuroscientist, isn't he?
Do the students want to try it? They have an opportunity before we let the cat out of the bag here. Do you guys want to take a chance? No, they're shaking their heads. Okay, you first asked, so mirror neurons. Yes, that mirror neuron. Mirror. Say that 5 times. Mirror neuron. Okay, now we have another visual aid for number 8. I'll read it for you. It's time we face reality, my friends. We're not exactly rocket scientists. Now, if you were here earlier and watched see that water bottle fly, you know that this is a rocket scientist right here, Dick Sayre. Okay, so speaking of which, question number 8. Which American space launch vehicle was 27 stories tall? Scientists. Dick?
The Titan rocket. The Apollo for the Apollo? No.
Nope, nope. That's -1? Nope. -1. Students, take that. Listen, I don't know if this is not exactly a hint. I'm just saying, listen carefully to the question. Which American space launch vehicle was 27 stories tall? We need some music, some TikTok music. Ah, but they need to know their science history as well. Yes. No answer? No time? Okay, so we'll live with a -1 for the scientists, and the students are not going to pick it up. Audience? Saturn V. Wow, Saturn V. Very good. Okay. I thought it was a Saturn V. Okay. All right, number 9. And there are an odd number of questions just so there couldn't be any tie. Number 9, now this has nothing to do with the drawing here. Neil deGrasse Tyson has written a very popular book called Death by Black Hole. What variant of gravitational force will kill you if you experience black hole spaghettification? Okay, it was written about in a popular book called Death by Black Hole. What variant of gravitational force will kill you if you experience black hole spaghettification? I'm just happy I could say spaghettification. I was looking forward to it. Spaghettification. Or as the Italians say, spaghettificata. No buzz here. You're making these too hard, Tucker. Yeah. Who's writing these things? No buzz. Well, should we go throw it to the audience then? All right. Well, I'm sorry. Tidal forces, exactly. And the reason is that part of you gets stretched inside much faster than the other. If you go in, for instance, well, it could be head first, but if you go in feet first, for example, your feet are pulled much harder than your head, and you're torn apart.
We need Larry Niven to explain.
Which is Larry. I thought you were. Is he on the Food Channel? Larry Jimmy. I have no idea what this has to do with spaghetti. I don't know.
The next one's yes, no. This is good.
Oh, there is a yes-no question. All right, okay. This is number 10, and this does have a visual aid that comes with it. When a tree falls in the forest and no one is around. Oh, for crying out loud, I can't believe this has happened. Well, on firewood now, bummer. Say, this reminds me of a story. Talking trees. Infrared detectors, for example, some night vision goggles, easily sense the higher than ambient temperature of warm-blooded animals. Could very sensitive infrared detectors distinguish the heat signatures of trees from rocks? Students?
Yes?
Yes, that is correct, yes. Okay. Now, if you can tell us why, we'll give you an extra 12 points. No. All right, I will... well, I'll say it, because trees metabolize, and that means they produce some waste or excess heat. Ta-da. All right. That was a yes-no question. Good for total 0. Well, 4-0. We could still... We're close. It's still close. It's still close. All right. All right, so we're skipping that one. And we're going to... Is this right? Yes. All right. Clowns of the animal world. I'll let you enjoy those for a second. All right. This is the longest question of the night. Which taxonomic kingdom has the greatest diversity of life forms and therefore would be split apart the most if we were to use, and students?
Protista.
Protista is correct. Very good. Very good. Who was also coincidentally the last president of Cuba. So the full question is this. Which taxonomic or taxonomic kingdom has the greatest diversity of life forms and therefore would be split apart the most if we were to use the 8-kingdom system of classification espoused by some scientists? And that is Protista because some protists, as they're called, photosynthesize, some don't. Some protists are single-celled, others are multi-celled. So,
You don't Protista too much.
He doth Protista too much. So what do we have now? We have 4-2. Ooh, okay. Scientists 4, students 2. Question number, this will be number 12. And strictly speaking, Why should you not be proud if Wonderfest has caused a quantum leap in your understanding of science? Strictly speaking, why should you not be proud if Wonderfest has caused a quantum leap in your understanding of science?
Quantum leap.
Quantum leap in quotes. A popular expression, students.
Because that means you skipped some understanding?
Almost, but no. No cigar. And Protistas smoke those, too. All right.
Because...
Would you like me to repeat the question? Or?
Well, I was going to say, because the world was quantized.
Are you going to hazard an answer, or are you going to not take the chance on...
-1.
You know, I have to say, Tucker, we have more audience participation than, or heckling than we have, science heckling than we have ever had before. Do you want to try it or not, or are you taking a pass on it?
Yeah, -1.
You go ahead and use it. I defer to you.
You can pass? Strategy. They're strategizing. Okay, are they allowed to take the pass on the answer?
He buzzed.
Did he buzz? Did he buzz? He buzzed? Okay. All right. So you must answer. You must answer.
Bob says you buzzed.
Okay, time's up. Time's up. An answer.
All right, if you have a quantum leap in your understanding, it means your understanding went from point A to point B, but you never integrated anything that was in between. So there's no assimilation of the intermediate.
Not the answer we were looking for. Here's the key to the question was the first two words, strictly speaking. And strictly speaking, a quantum leap is the smallest possible change in something. You can't change less than a quantum leap. What? There can't be a half a quantum leap. All right. So we're up to number 13 now, I think.
The smallest change is the only change.
Don't. He does. Protest too much. All right, this one has a visual aid. For heaven's sake, Elroy, now look where the Earth is. Move over and let me drive. I have to confess, I don't get that one, but...
Male drivers don't get that.
Videos, which is a good point. Videos of... It's not that women want men to ask for directions, it's that they won't ask for directions themselves. That's why they make you ask for directions. All right. Videos of Apollo astronauts show them hopping rather than walking on the lunar surface, okay? What physical attribute of the moon makes jumping easier than walking? Students, that's a matter of reflexes.
Acceleration, gravitational acceleration is less.
Yeah, we'll accept that. That's our answer. It's just simply weak or lower gravity. All right? Now. Okay. Now it gets interesting. There are only 62 more questions. All right. This would be number 14, I guess. Yes. What meteorological phenomenon is measured on the Fujita scale? Is that a buzz? Is that a buzz? That's a buzz. No. Okay. Scientists.
Tornadoes.
Yes. Yeah. Tornadoes are measured on the Fujita scale. It's like the Richter scale for earthquakes, I guess. All right.
Wasn't clear. Did you have an
Oh,
answer?
no, but
No, it's okay. You can tell me. We want to give you points.
No. Before the scientists answered, Tucker asked, "Do you have an answer?" And they said no. So at the time. So
The tie goes to the students.
5-3. Okay, we have enough questions here. All right, next question is 15, and this includes the transparency. First pants, then wear shoes. What's wrong with that? What computer science term refers to a series of instructions that achieve a single end? It's roughly synonymous with the word recipe. Juice. Scientist? Who was that? Which side was that? What? Was that scientist? Yes.
Yes.
Your answer? Algorithm is correct for 2 points. And is that? No, we have that's
2 more.
2 more. Okay, yeah, okay, 2 more. It's possible.
Transparency?
Transparency, please. Now that desk looks better. Everything's squared away. Yes, sir, squared away. He goes in and sees. All right, if spacefarers, another space question. No, I was wrong. The last one I said was the longest is not. This is the longest question. If spacefarers ever manage to fly at nearly the speed of light to reach another star system 10 light years away, we on Earth will say that the travelers have aged less than 10 years during the flight. This is because of a phenomenon known as time dilation. That was part of the question, though. So -1 for the scientists. And I thought they would have the advantage in reflexes at this stage. All right, I'll start again. If spacefarers ever manage to fly, at nearly the speed of light to reach another star system 10 light years away, we on Earth will say that the travelers have aged less than 10 years during the flight. This is because of time dilation. But from the point of view of the traveler, his own time does not dilate. What phenomenon of what phenomenon of relativity will the traveler say allows him to travel between the stars in less than 10 years? So, students get the first crack at it. They're conferring. Okay.
Length contraction?
Yes, length contraction, exactly. Not time contraction.
Let it go away.
5 to 6, 1 point. This is it. It comes down to the final question.
Do you want to just maybe explain why length contraction is the answer?
Oh, yes, yeah. Relative to the spacefarer, the stars are moving at a high speed, and so the distance between the stars contracts. So it's not time contraction, it's length contraction. Very good. All right, this is it. The tiebreaker. Well, it's not exactly a tie, but So you guys might strategize on this and say, no, okay. Now go for it. Go for it. Transparency, please. Unwittingly, Irwin has a brush with death. Hey, watch the elbows, buddy. Speaking of which, 2009 is being formally heralded as the year of science. One big reason for this is that 2009 marks the 200th birthday of Charles Darwin. What British economist and minister influenced Darwin, describing how famine and disease would limit human population growth? Scientists. Malthus, correct. Thomas Malthus, and for the win. Gosh, wasn't that fun? We, unfortunately, don't have any prize for you.
I want a MacBook.
Good to know one of these guys.
Yeah.
I think Quentin's got 2.
However, they might have a spare Klein bottle for you. All right, so we have a big event coming up right now, and I'm sure one which many of you came here just to hear, as opposed to this. And I'm going to introduce our panelists for that in just a moment. But first, Tucker, do you have anything? We just have congratulations for them, and that's it, right? We're very sorry. And I think in order, we have to rearrange the furniture, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if a brief bathroom break of 5 minutes or so, and a big hand for our contestants, both winners. Thanks so much. That was great.